Yes, it's true. Some 1976 Bicentennial quarters with rare errors have sold for that much. And you could have one sitting at home right now without even knowing it. So keep watching, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot one of these valuable coins and what makes them so incredibly rare and expensive. In 1976, the United States was celebrating a huge milestone: 200 years of independence. It was the country's bicentennial, and to mark the occasion, the U.S. Mint created special designs for the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins. The quarter was one of the most popular and widely used coins at the time, and instead of the usual eagle on the back, they replaced it with a new image, a colonial drummer boy and a torch surrounded by 13 stars, one for each of the original colonies. Now here's where things get interesting. The 1976 Bicentennial quarter wasn't just made in 1 year, it was made over 2 years, 1975 and 1976. And all of them have the date, 1776 to 1976. There's no such thing as a quarter dated just 1975, if it has the drummer on the back, it always says 1776 to 1976. But the ones we're talking about today have something else that makes them super special. They were struck at the Denver Mint, and have a small D mint mark on the front of the coin, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. That little D might not seem like much, but some of these 1976 D quarters have minting errors that are so rare, collectors have paid tens of thousands and even over $100,000 just to own one. Let's talk about why these coins are worth so much. Most quarters are worth 25 cents, maybe a few dollars if they're in great condition. But when a mistake happens during the minting process, and only a few error coins are made, those coins become extremely valuable. Why? Because coin collectors love rare items, and the rarer the error, the higher the price. One of the most famous and valuable errors on the 1976 Bicentennial quarter is called a double die. That means the coin was struck more than once by the die, the stamp that puts the design on the coin. When this happens, some parts of the design look like they have a shadow or are doubled. If you look closely at the words, Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date, 1776 to 1976, you might see the letters or numbers are printed twice, just slightly off. That's a double die error, and it's not something you see every day. These rare coins have sold for up to $66,000 at auctions, depending on their condition. Another rare error is when the coin is struck off-center. That means it didn't land perfectly in the machine before being stamped. When that happens, part of the design ends up missing or shifted to one side. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin, especially if the date is still visible. A 1976 D quarter with a major off-center strike and a visible date could easily sell for $10,000, $20,000, or even more. Then there's the wrong planchet error. This is when the quarter is struck on a blank meant for another coin, like a dime or even a foreign coin. If your bicentennial quarter feels light or looks strange in color, it might be one of these rare types. Some 1976 D quarters have even been found struck on silver planchets, which were supposed to be used only for special collector sets. These coins are especially rare, and they can sell for $80,000 or more depending on condition and metal content. And here's where it gets really crazy. A very small number of 1976 D bicentennial quarters have multiple errors, like being double struck, on the wrong planchet, and in nearly perfect condition. These coins are so rare that only a handful are known to exist. One of these incredible error coins has sold for over $105,000 at auction. That's not just coin collecting, that's life-changing money from a single quarter. So how do you know if you have one of these valuable 1976 D quarters? First, flip the coin and look for the date. It should say 1776 to 1976. Then, look for the small letter D on the front, near Washington's ponytail. That means it was made at the Denver Mint. After that, check for anything unusual. Look closely at the letters and numbers. Do any of them look doubled? Is the image off-center? Does the coin feel too light or too heavy? Does it look silver or sound different when you tap it on a table? These are all signs of a possible mint error. If you think you have something special, don't clean the coin. Cleaning can actually make it worth less. Instead, store it safely and take it to a coin shop or a professional coin grader. They can tell you what it's really worth. The good news is these coins are still out there. People don't always know what to look for, so many of these rare coins are hiding in old coin jars, pocket change, or rolls of quarters from the bank. You could find one at a garage sale, a flea market, or even in your own home. It just takes a little knowledge and a careful eye. Imagine this, you're holding a simple-looking quarter that's been sitting in your kitchen drawer for years, and it turns out to be worth $66,000 or $105,000. That kind of surprise doesn't happen every day. But it does happen to people who know what to look for. And now that you've watched this video, you're one of those people. So go check your quarters. Look for that D mint mark. Look for strange errors. Weigh your coins if you can. Take your time and don't give up. Finding one of these rare 1976 D Bicentennial error coins might feel like looking for a needle in a haystack, but that needle could be worth more than a luxury car. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and share it with your friends and family. You never know, maybe someone you know has one of these valuable coins and doesn't even realize it. Thanks for watching, and good luck hunting. In 1976, the United States celebrated 200 years of independence. It was a big deal. To celebrate, the U.S. Mint released special coins with new designs. The quarter got a new back side, or what collectors call the reverse. Instead of the usual eagle, the 1976 quarter shows a colonial drummer boy and a torch with 13 stars. It was made to honor the original 13 colonies. The front still has George Washington's face, but the date says 1776 to 1976, instead of just 1 year. That's how you know it's a bicentennial quarter. Millions of these coins were made, so most of them are not rare. But a few of them have mistakes. These mistakes, called errors, happened while the coins were being made at the mint. And those errors are what make some of these coins so valuable. People collect these error coins, and some of them are willing to pay big money to own one. So let's talk about the most valuable kinds of mistakes you can find on a bicentennial quarter. One of the most famous and expensive errors is called a double strike or double die. That means the coin was struck twice by the machine. This makes the letters or parts of the design look like they are doubled. If you see that the word Liberty or In God We Trust looks like it has a shadow or is printed twice, that could be a double die error. Some of these quarters have sold for $60,000 or more depending on the condition. If you see one like this in your collection, don't spend it. It could be a goldmine. Another valuable error is when the coin is not centered correctly. This is called an off-center strike. It means the machine didn't hit the coin in the right spot, so the design looks shifted or incomplete. Sometimes, part of the coin is missing the picture completely. If the coin is far enough off-center but still shows the date, it can be worth thousands of dollars, sometimes even $20,000 or $30,000. Now here's one of the craziest mistakes. Some 1976 quarters were made on the wrong kind of metal, or what's called a wrong planchet. A planchet is just the blank piece of metal that the design is stamped onto. Most quarters are made of copper and nickel, but some were accidentally made on silver planchets or even planchets for dimes or foreign coins. These are super rare. If your quarter feels too light or too heavy, or looks strange in color, it might be one of these rare errors. One of these coins sold at auction for around $65,000. That's life-changing money for a small mistake. And then there are coins that were supposed to be special proof coins made for collectors, but somehow ended up in regular circulation. These coins were made with silver, and the shine and finish are different from normal quarters. If you find a bicentennial quarter with a very bright mirror-like surface, check its edge. If the edge is solid silver and doesn't have a copper stripe, it might be one of the rare silver errors. Some of these rare silver error quarters have sold for $75,000 to $87,000. Believe it or not, one of the most expensive bicentennial quarter errors ever sold went for nearly $99,000. Yes, $99,000 for one quarter. That's because it had a combination of rare features. It was struck on the wrong metal, had doubling, and was in near perfect condition. Coins like that are like winning the lottery. They're almost never found, but they do exist. And they were made by mistake, not on purpose. So, how can you find one of these valuable coins? It's simple. First, look for the date. It must say, 1776 to 1976. That's the only date used for bicentennial quarters. Second, check the back of the coin. It should have the drummer boy design. If it shows the eagle, it's not a bicentennial quarter. Now, get a magnifying glass or zoom in with your phone. Look closely at the words and numbers. Do you see any doubling? Does the coin look off-center? Is the edge missing the copper stripe and looks silver instead? If so, you might have something very rare. Also, weigh your coin if you can. A normal quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. A silver quarter will weigh a little more, around 5.75 grams. That tiny difference can mean a big difference in value. And if you do find something that looks strange, don't clean the coin. Cleaning can actually lower the value. Keep it safe and take it to a coin expert or coin dealer to have it checked. The great thing is, these coins are still out there. People have them in jars, in old drawers, or in coin rolls from the bank. Even though millions were made, the rare error ones are still hiding in plain sight. You just have to know what to look for. And remember, even if your bicentennial quarter isn't worth $99,000, some are still worth a few hundred or a few $1,000s just because of small mistakes or being in excellent condition. That's still a great find for something that cost you only 25 cents. So now that you know what to look for, go check your pocket change, your coin jars, and your old collections. You never know what you might find. That one quarter you almost spent on a candy bar could actually be worth more than a brand new car. It's like treasure hunting, and the treasure might be sitting right in your own home. If you liked this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with your friends and family so they can check their quarters too. You never know, the next rare coin might be just a few feet away, waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching, and good luck hunting.